What's up, Raw Babes? And today I'm giving you very much raw. This was a highly requested video for the dark skinned ladies. So get your notebook and get your pencil. We finna get ready to learn. Let's go. So the first thing I went in with was the Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Soft Black. And I also went in with the NYX pencil in the shade Brunette just to weigh out the shades. So I also like to use dual lash glue to lay down my brow hairs. For the ones who don't know, if you are new to the Raw Babes family, welcome. Girl, you're gonna learn a lot. But if you already are a raw babe, you already know how this goes. So the dual lash glue is used for long lasting and also used for also just laying down those brow hairs to make it more easier for you to start filling in the brows. To conceal her brows, I'll be going in with CoverGirl Concealer in the shade Cappuccino. We'll be prepping her lids with the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer in the shade Toffee Caramel. This is just a base so we can get prepared for all the pigments and the colors. Now we'll be setting that concealer with some Airspun translucent setting powder. This is just so the lids will not crease, and also so your application with your eyeshadow can be applied very smooth. After setting the lids, now it's time for you to go in with your first transition shade. I mixed two browns from the new Precision palette and I placed it right into her crease. You guys, if you want that pigment to pop up, you have to do patting motions with your brush and then just blend out the edges. Now it's time to cut that crease. You guys already know I like to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer. It's the very matte and full coverage concealer. This is in the shade Ivory 330. And I love their formula for their concealers. It's very drying, which I love to use in order to do the cut creases, because I know that I don't have to wait for my cut crease to dry. I can just start applying my shadow, whatever I put on my cut crease. So make sure you guys do not use a hydrating concealer for your cut crease. It will never dry, it will be dewy, and you won't be able to get as much as pigment when it's time to put on your shimmers. So this is a format that I teach my students who come book the one-on-ones with me. This is called the connected dots. This is an easy way for you to trace out and see how you will form your cut crease. And you can just even out the lines, and that's how you guys can see it's very fast and it's very easy to do a cut crease. It's the easiest way. I want you guys to try out that method and let me know on Instagram how you feel about that technique. That is one of the holy grails right there. It's very easy with doing cut creases. It's like tracing and drawing out how you would want it. So as you guys can see, sometimes throughout the process, before you move on, you will see how one eye can be bigger than the other. Just make sure before you move on that it's even. And off camera, I made sure I go back in and applied and made it as even as I could. Before moving on to the next step, you'll grab a small brush just so you can blend out those edges of that cut crease. You do not want that cut crease wet. It should be dry as possible in order to move on to the next step. Now I'll be blending out the end of her cut crease with that dark brown, and I'll also have it flow into a gradient look, and I'll grab that lighter brown. I'm still here, ladies. I did not forget about you. I'm still here. I just wanted to let you guys look at this and see how satisfying it is in peace. So now I'm gonna let you know what I was using, ladies. So I made sure I went in with like a shimmerish white gold in the corner of her cut crease, and I let that middle part be like a pink shimmer. This was more on the Barbie side. This was straight off the dome. It's straight off the dome, meaning that this was like a freestyle. As I was going, I was making up the look. I hope you guys love it. If you love it, please comment pink hearts below. This was so pretty. But I topped it off with the J. LaRue pigment. This is in the pigment white gold. It's like a pressed glitter. You do not need no type of glue, no type of adhesive glue for it. This is just something that you pop on top of shimmers, and it's a pretty soft glitter. And also I popped on the dual lash glue, as you guys can see, right on top of that shimmer pink. And I just wanted to play around with a little bit more glitters. Oh, I popped on a pink glitter. You guys can get any type of pink glitter that you guys have in your kit. I do not remember the name of this glitter, but everything else I'll make sure I put it down in the description box below. Using one of my favorite palettes as of right now. This is the new Precision palette. This is from Beauty by Melissa on Instagram. You guys go follow her and get you guys this palette. It's raw. I'm showing you guys the shades we was using, and this is also the pressed white gold glitter. It looks like this. And now I will be popping on a black liner in the shade of Jet Black. This is from e.l.f. liner. You guys, you don't always have to do a wing liner. I know you guys was thinking, oh, a wing liner would look bomb with this, but for every look you do not have to pop on a wing liner. I know you guys are fans of wing liners, but sometimes wing liners can take away from the glam. Set your black liners with the black shadow. It will be more of a matte look, and also it will be long lasting for the liner. For instance, say if you put on your lashes, and sometimes you guys can see that when the client looks up and down, majority of the time the shadow ends up going on top of that black liner. You do not want that to happen, so always make sure you set your liner, and also just so it can dry down quicker, so no liner will transfer over to the rest of the eye. The lashes we'll be using today, as always, is the Ivory Luxury Mink 3D lashes, and she is so cute. She posing in the back. But make sure you guys screenshot that. That's in the form 05, and I used some dual lash glue to apply her lashes. And now I'll be going with the spoolie to get all that glitter off, and also I'll be going to one of my favorite makeup wipes to wipe the rest of that off her face. Now we'll be using 2 foundation shades for my beautiful client, and I used a shade that was a little lighter than her and one that was a little darker than her. And as you guys can see, I put a little bit on the back of my hand and I began to mix it. You guys, I do not go in with a lot of foundation. Do not go in with too much foundation. The foundation is already full coverage. This is all you need, and you'll begin to mix. You can mix with the end of your pencil or the end of your makeup brush. This is how I apply the foundation onto my clients, and this is her perfect skin tone. So this is how you match out your client's skin tone. I'm so happy I got to show you guys, but always look at the neck and the chest of your client. Sometimes if you look at the foundation and you do swatches on the cheek, and you can also see how it's like, oh, this is a little bit lighter than her, get another foundation. If that is dark, and you're like, oh my god, that is like a little bit too dark, just mix the light and the dark and you'll get the perfect shade. And this is what we got today. So you guys, do not be scared. Always just try to match out their skin tones before you go directly in with the foundation you think is their foundation color, to avoid that and get that nice finish. Just do little swatches on their face. And like I said, if you do not have their exact skin tone, which is not something every makeup line has, that exact skin tone, you're gonna have to mix foundations to get that exact skin tone of your client. So do that same technique as I showed you guys, and period. I just taught y'all something new. Woo woo. I also like to mix my concealers just so I can know that the concealer is not too light. So I like to darken up my concealer most of the time. So I went in with the Tarte Shade Concealer in the shade Deep, which was the first shade. And then I just deepened it up with the Rich Chocolate shade from the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. Now I'll be going in with another coat of concealer. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Mid Dark 3. This was just to bring a little bit more highlight to her under eye. And yes, she is giving fade. Yes, ladies, the secret to having a smooth under eye is to have a damp beauty blender. But when you are blending your concealer, or when you are blending and setting in your pressed powder, you must have a damp beauty blender. So you guys, I went in with two translucent powders. This is by Laura Mercier. I went in with the shade Honey, and I also went in with the shade Deep. I recommend every single makeup artist or even yourself if you are dark skinned to always get these palettes right here. This is the True Complex contour palette in the shade dark to deep, and also the 8D Morphe bronzer palette. You guys, that's the perfect bronzers and contour palette. Y'all raw babes already know I love me some blush. I love me some contour. I love for that face to be snatched. Do not be scared of blush, because blush honestly brings in the whole entire look. Set underneath her cheekbones to show out the structure of her features. I made sure I set underneath with that Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade Deep. y'all, look at that face. Ooh, she snatched. Yes, Lord. Yes, yes, yes. But yes, she already knows she'll finna get snatched because she follows my Instagram and she also looks at my YouTube videos. But I want you guys to give her a shout out. She's a singer in Miami. Make sure you guys go look in my description box below. I'll make sure I put her IG just so you can go show her some love because she looks like a dark skin young Miami. So, but I was the one to say it first, period. But now I'll be lining up her lips with the lip liner from Morphe. This is in the shade Trendsetter. And in the center of her lips, we're going to do like a nudish. And that is the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer. Yes, concealer. Concealer is the new hack to get that perfect nude shade. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer in the shade Toffee Caramel. And I'll pop it right off with some Store Gloss. Y'all know I love my hair Store Gloss. So y'all just go get that $2 hair store gloss. I always tell you guys, do not spend all that money for no gloss. This gloss is minty fresh and it's so pretty. So just look at this process and this is so satisfying. Here y'all go. Not even finished.
You said a natural V.
Girl. So now this is your moment to smooth out everything. And like I told you guys before, it can look ashy at this moment because you're trying to set everything in. But once you spray that face, it no longer looks ashy. All that is going to be skin. So do not get paranoid. Do not get scared. If it looks like this, honey, it's a process. So I went in with a shade lighter than her original skin tone in the pressed powder by MAC Studio Fix. And that was the NW45 underneath her eye just to keep it smooth and highlighted. For the remaining of her face, I used 2 pressed powders just so it can be a similar tone of her original skin tone, which was NW55 and NW58. And I made sure I blended out all those harsh lines just so everything could be smooth. Now it's time to highlight, and I'll be going with the same highlight shade from that bronzer palette that we use for Morphe. They have a little box for the highlighter for the dark skin girls, and this is the one I use. I put on her eyebrow bone, her cheeks, her bridge of the nose, forehead, and chin. Sorry, ladies, this video was cut short. I had clients, and you know I had to hurry up, honey. But I went in with some Maybelline mascara for her bottom lashes. And y'all, this is the finishing look. Shout out to my dark girls. Shout out to my chocolate babes. My chocolate babes is raw too. You know, sometimes upcoming makeup artists, they run towards the lighter skin girls, but honestly, you have to learn every single shade. You have to kill every single shade. It's very easy. I'm glad that I taught you guys a lot of new techniques that hopefully you guys will take and you guys will write down and learn for your future clients. I thank you guys so much for being my support system. I love you guys. You're my family. And if you guys already know, follow me on all platforms at LashaysGlamz on TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you go follow my Instagram. I'll be sure to go live and do little tutorials and also do questions and answers. I love you guys so much. Make sure if you guys have any questions, any requests, just let me know and hit me up. I want you guys to comment, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend and tell a friend that this is the page where you will get all the new gems. And we are all sisters in Christ. So yes, I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.